What's good, Liberators? Fingers here, DX2 Demon Review. Today we are talking about the ultimate Flame Lord, the most dangerous of all the gays, the Tenma, Mahakala, Indian god who repels evil, known as Daikokuten in Buddhism. His many swords are fearsome, but by paying tribute, the devout may be blessed with tremendous wealth and happiness. Mahakala, let me get some of that. There are beliefs that Mahakala is actually just another name for Shiva, the destroyer, or that he is the form of Shiva, takes when enraged. So, this is Shiva when he flames on, so to speak. Let's check out this fiery god incarnate. And he's a magic guy, as you can see, 218 off rip. Pump that up to 238, 258 if you run wild with it, which is among the highest you're going to find in DX2. And I pumped the last 20 of my Mitamas into agility because a while back I was running him on a speedster magic-y team when I was competing in Legend tier. You know, got all kinds of teams running when you're up there, so you're mixing and matching as you see fit, and he serves quite well in that role of single target slayer. And the last 10 went into luck because I must have been feeding him blue what are they called? The blue Mitamas instead of just the incense. So he got some luck, though. That last 10's probably better served in vitality than luck. And he drains fire, cool, resists electricity, useless, nulls dark. What? No, what? Hey, Indian god who repels evil. Repels. Oh, we have been bamboozled, boys. This shall not stand. As for the skill set, transferable fire amp plus 25% to fire damage goes without saying. Awesome to the max for his first unique skill. The Great Darkness adds fire pierce. Booyah. Activates the following chain effect at the beginning of every own second turn. So you got to rock out. You got to take at least one volley of enemy attacks, possibly two if you're going second, but with him you're probably going to want to run him on a faster team, so you're going to have to endure one round of enemy attacks for this to pop off. Fire magic damage 5 times, power of 40 on random enemies, and enters into a state of concentrate, which is the real money here, as anyone who runs him in Demopocalypse can attest. Auto-concentrate every second turn. He auto-concentrates, doubling his next attack. Well, more than doubling his next attack. That is brutal. And if you're looking at getting that top 3% in Fire Demopocalypse, this boy is one of the requirements. Unfortunately, your top position, getting to that top 3% in Demopocalypse, depends on what demons you have. You can't substitute stats and transferable skills and still hope to attain that top 3%. For example, these days, if you want to get in the top 3% of Fizz Demopocalypse, well, you're going to need that Panel 3 Mara and that OC Hallel. It's just, if you don't have those, you're done here. Even if you've got all the other heavy hitters, which I do, and I've been shunted from the last Fizz Demopocalypse. So, rant over. This guy, necessity for Fire Demopocalypse, because of Wrathful Flame, fire magic damage 3 times on a single enemy, reduces defense of all enemies by 20%, and power 70 for a total of 210. Level it up plus 20% damage to this skill, and the PvP crucial MP cost -1 to this skill. So he serves quite well in the role of evaporating those enduring soul demons because of the multi-hit nature of Wrathful Flame. Although demons that just have the skill it's built into the skill that it nullifies enduring soul, do the job better, this is a worthy substitute for your single target PvP Slayer if you are going that route. And this in Demopocalypse is god tier, because getting that boss wave 20% reduction to their defense is going to up your numbers in a big way, which is why he's so instrumental if you want to get that top 3% in fire Demopocalypse. For the archetype skill, Gutterman Psychic, Merciless Blow, an additional 20% damage when attacking the enemy's weak point. These days I only run him in Demopocalypse, so this is crucial, but if you are running him in PvP, there may be some other options which we will discuss. As for the transferables, Fire Enhancement, obvious one, 50% of fire damage, 10% attacking when his weak point. Demopocalypse to the extreme, UCY, and Fire Boost, an obvious one, 15% fire damage. Booyah! So you can really pile on the damage percentage increases. 25% from Fire Am, 20% from Merciless Blows, or 20% from Merciless Blow. Another 20% here if you level up Wrathful Flame. Fire Enhancement, another 25%. Fire Boost, another 15%. Oh, good lord. Now we are piling on. But if you're running him in PvP, you might want to consider Speedster, because he's made out of tissue paper, so he's probably not going to survive many rounds of enemy attack unless you seriously devastate them. Turn one, weaken them so only their healers or support characters are left, and then get that second turn. He's probably not going to survive the night. Fire Survivor would be a fantastic fit for him in the PvP context. Hardly necessary if you're just using him for Demopocalypse. So there we go. As for brands, Magic Guy, Spell brands, Divine brands, take your pick. If you're running them in PvP, Speed brands. If you're running them in Demopocalypse, it don't really matter. Or you want to get those Lost or Destruct brands, whichever one of those adds the additional magic attack percentage as their bonus to complement those spell brands. For the panels, panel 1 plus 15% to fire damage. Oh, what now we're just getting ridiculous. We're just piling on damage percentage boosts. As you can see, this is why this guy is essential if you're looking to top out fire Demopocalypse. You gotta get him. If you love Demopocalypse and you like being in the top 3% of all the Demopocalypses, your faction is running the bonus round every time it comes around. This is a guy you're gonna want to keep an eye out for. Panel 2, minus 50% to fire damage received. Okay, that's great. You know, running him in Fire Altar World, that makes him perfectly viable there. But big yawn, boring. Panel 3 and the big Mamma Jamma, especially once again for the Fire Demopocalypse, activates following chain effect after Wrathful Flame is activated, increases own party's attack and defense by 20%, which is massive in terms of Demopocalypse. Being able to get those buffs in a boss wave, it really only comes from skills like Wrathful Flame that have a buff or a debuff built into the attack. There's really no other way you can get those going unless you run Norn, who automatically buffs you on the boss wave or something like that. But these skills are worth their weight in gold. The buff plus the elemental attack, whatever it may be. And those are the ones you want to look out for if you want to skyrocket your Demopocalypse score into the stratosphere. And this is just... And imagine this in PvP too. This is basically offensive cry built in to a single target fire damage with a triple hit power of 210 total. Oh yeah, that's some good money. I love the I love Tenmas. I really do. They got some really cool demons in the Tenma lineup. And before we wrap it up, let's check out those other archetype skills, because he's got a little something here. For his Origami archetype, which is the one I ran with him for a while when I was running him in PvP, I had him in Origami for Maragidine, which is the strongest transferable fire sweep skill. And since Mahakala has an innate fire pierce built into him. It's not just built into Wrathful Flame. He's got it, full stop, period. Every fire attack you give him is going to be able to pierce, which means this bad boy can pierce at the discounted cost of 6 MP, which means if you give him those Divine Brands, he can pop off turn 1, barring any Undead Alice interventions. So you can see with that beastly magic stat, Divine Brands, Maragidine, Pierce, you can slay turn 1, so he runs really well on a faster, magic-y team. For the Protector archetype, Concentrate, not as fun, and it's kind of self-defeating unless, especially in PvP, this doesn't play. Because you're going to be wasting all your MP on the Concentrate, and you're not going to be able to fire off until turn 2, and because of the Great Darkness, he will automatically concentrate at the beginning of turn 2, making this useless in PvP. For PvE, yeah, you can get your turn 1, you can concentrate, pass, or get weaknesses, exploit weaknesses, get him a second turn that first round, and boom, pop off, and then he gets another concentrate turn 2 automatically, and pop off, and that's cool, but I would take a hard pass on this just because it's self-defeating in nature. And the 2 roles you'd really want him to be rocking out on, you're going to use him in PvP on your offensive team, or you're going to be rocking him in Demopocalypse. This doesn't help with either of those in any way, shape, or form. As for the Psychic archetype, Merciless Blow, which we discussed, and another big fail, the Elementalist archetype, Drain Dark. Mahakala repels evil. He doesn't absorb it. This is just a massive fail on Sega's part. Clearly they didn't read the lore. They don't understand it. They don't care about us, boys. They're only out for themselves, and nothing makes that more clear than Mahakala not having Repel Dark instead of Drain Dark. It's just unacceptable on every conceivable level, and I'm not having it. I'm not having it one bit. And that is all that I can think to say about this Shiva Fire Incarnate. The Tenma Mahakala, I like him a lot, though I don't use him as much as I should, though I did get some good use out of him in this most recent of Kiwamis. I will link that video down below so you can check out the Flame Lord going buck wild. And until that time, Liberators, don't get captured.